Yay Networks.
Hello.
I just started playing a like random like song in my head. I was like, what if we came into like crazy intro music? And I was like, we do ours. It was like this like song was just like ba ba da ba da ba da.
Oh, every time I hear someone say hello, I have an aunt who says that every time like she walks into the house or whatever. It's like hello. So just makes me think of her.
That's nice. I'm Emily.
Hi. Oh yeah, I'm Laura.
This is Cheers to That Shit.
Yep, sure is.
Your come to place to be.
I forgot we have to intro ourselves. So
Yeah,
I was just jumping right in
jump right in
because today is one of those topics.
I know. I'm excited for it. Before we get in, do you have anything
exciting happening in my life?
Yeah.
No, just the usual. I mean, just working and the usual. Nothing special.
Yeah, we I think I told you last week or the week before we were talking about getting like an exercise bike, like one of the
yeah.
So we did. We got it. Got delivered yesterday, set it up. I was like, I'm going to get on it this morning. Just like, I got 10 minutes in and I was like, fuck.
Would you have it on like level 8?
Yeah. It started at a 6 and I was like, okay, this isn't too bad. Then she was like, all right, turn it up to 9 and power. And I was
it's like a Wi-Fi thing. Is it like where you stream someone doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you
like
meant
a
just
class.
like
Yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I like going and I was like, shit. And I looked and it had been like 3 minutes. I was like, motherfucker. Like, how am I going to get through this?
Yeah. The only stationary bikes that I ride on are like just the set your program level 1 hill, random, whatever, not the fancy.
Oh, like with the knob on the bottom?
No,
like
it just
turn your level.
No, you don't do anything. You just set it when you put your weight and whatever. And when you get on, it's just, probably from 20 years ago, maybe. I don't know. It's not the fancy. It has a person exercising and all that.
Yeah, it was. I texted Ryan and I was like, you're going to die. Like I exercise regularly. You don't. You're going to get on this and actually die.
Yeah, you'll probably eat those words when he gets on it. And then he'll be all like ripped in one day. And
oh, no, I know he will be,
Yeah.
but he's still going to die. This motherfucker can't walk up the stairs 3 times without breathing hard. So,
oh, goodness.
Good times. Good times had by all.
Yeah. Well, that's how guys are when they work out.
I know. It pisses me
Like
the fuck
Dom
off.
could say, oh, I think I'll stop drinking soda today. And in 2 days, he'd drop 10 pounds.
Yeah, that's fucking rude.
Yeah.
Like, what do guys go through? Not to get on a fucking tangent, but like, can we just have one thing? Can women just have one thing? Like, we have a period when we start puberty and then we just bleed all the fucking time.
Oh my God.
And then we go through menopause and then, that's a whole fucking whirlwind. Guys get random erections and then they may or may not lose their hair. They get better looking as they get older. They stop eating sugar. They get like toned as fuck. Can we just have something? Anyway.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe we should move on.
Speaking of anger and rage and ridiculous requests, we are going to be talking about ridiculous wedding requests and some things that we have seen.
Mm-hmm.
Reddit, I will tell you, what a spiral that can turn into. You can get lost in there for hours.
I don't get on Reddit that much. I mean, I might, but I can just look at Facebook and go down a tangent on Facebook, especially like in groups, wedding groups specifically, because I am in a lot of them just, to, keep myself informed and educated and what's happening in the world and see what stupid shit people ask in there and then fight with each other in a whole thread trying to convince complete strangers that they're right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
the internet period.
Yeah.
Just the internet period. So we've picked out through our Reddit escapades and through some couple of Facebook posts, we've picked out 6 things that we're going to talk about. And while we will berate these couples for doing this stupid shit, we're also going to like walk through why it's not plausible.
Right.
And try to give, our really professional advice on how to maybe not do that and the reason behind it all.
Right.
So the first one that I found that I thought was absolutely ridiculous.
Well, this is like a window into people's soul.
Yeah. Just like who they, I like, why does a wedding bring out the worst in people? Like it really shows how fucking horribly dumb some people are.
Well,
and selfish.
Yeah.
Just
and
like your true selfishness.
I mean, and here I go trying to like,
are you going to back these people up?
Well, no.
Shit.
You know me. I'm always got to be like, but
however,
I mean that they don't know what they don't know. And we've talked about this a million times. Some of these things, I'll give them that. They don't know what they don't know. But some of these things are, girl,
like this one.
Are you dumb?
Like this. So this,
no common sense.
Yeah. So this bride expected and asked her bridesmaids to pay for a suite for the bachelorette party. It was a Jack and Jill party, and for her and her fiance to stay in. It all like fully all included. Like you fund my bachelorette party for
all
me, my fiance.
Paid.
Yeah. And then I also need y'all to pay for one of my honeymoon excursions. And then I need you to contribute funds to our wedding favors.
The wedding party, guys.
No, the bridesmaids.
Oh, just the bridesmaids.
Just the
even though it was a Jack and Jill party?
Yeah.
Was the
groomsmen?
Yeah, were they coming to it? And he didn't ask his guys to contribute to that, just the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her.
Good for her.
Good for her.
So let me tell you a little bit about why that's so dumb if you haven't already come to that conclusion on your own. I do think it is okay for, if it is within means, to have your bridesmaid, your wedding party contribute to something for the bride. Like every bachelorette party I've been on, the bride's room has been covered, her like hotel, Airbnb, whatever has been covered. She hasn't had to pay for that. Dinner, drinks, there's like normally like one nice dinner that you take, and then obviously like a couple drinks are paid for, but like
they chip in.
The bride has to pay for something for herself. This isn't an all-inclusive fucking trip.
Right.
Yes, it's your trip, but I mean, these, like, you can spend, we've talked about this in our bachelor, like, you spend so much fucking money on a bachelorette trip on top of your dress. Anyway, so having it fund a suite for not only, like, they aren't even staying in a suite. It's literally just for the bride and her fiance.
Yeah, because if normally all the girls would stay in an Airbnb
together
or get a hotel suite together, but it's like, y'all stay over here and pay for me and my fiance to stay over here.
So that's stupid. Also, the honeymoon excursion. We talked about a honeymoon fund a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
If you need help with your honeymoon and you set up a honeymoon fund, I personally think they're really stupid. But if that's what you choose to do, then set that up. Don't require your bridesmaids, who are already putting so much of their time and energy and money into your wedding alone.
Yeah.
They don't need to pay for your honeymoon excursion.
Well,
unless you want that as a gift from them.
Well, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Or that was my take on that whole topic that we talked about. So a lot of people don't know what to buy people for their wedding gifts. So it's like, oh, well, we're going on this honeymoon. We want to do this whatever excursion. People can put into that would be their wedding gift. So again, a lot of times, the bridesmaids or groomsmen or wedding party people will get together and chip in for a gift or something for the bride. That could be a kind of chip in, but I wouldn't tell people to do that. I think that's
also,
very...
Just like side note, I don't think it's necessary for your wedding party to give you a gift.
Well, no, it isn't. It's just, it's a nice thing to do.
It's a nice thing to do, but I remember telling my wedding party, I was like, y'all don't, you're paying enough to get here. You're paying enough for the dress.
Right. I appreciate that. Please don't spend any more money.
Please don't. I really would just rather you be there.
Right.
Without you having to worry about, great, now I have to buy her $100
and
gift.
I think you get that more from people who are either already married or are in long relationships and have done things with their partner or have been in a wedding. It's usually people who have no wedding experience that are like, just buy everything for me, chip in everything for me.
Or just
inconsiderate.
And then to contribute to the favors, like to help pay for the wedding favors. I'm going to say this right now.
I don't even get that. Like, why?
What the fuck?
First of all,
if it's not in your budget, just don't do favors. Who's doing wedding favors anymore? I was just going to say,
favors seem so antiquated to me.
Like I didn't do favors.
I think it's kind of translated into these experiences now.
Yeah.
Like you have an outdoor wedding, give everybody a pashmina. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even that is
or like
a bit of a stretch.
something like that. But like,
Koozies.
still, even just like, why you don't need a wedding favor. I don't leave anyone's wedding being like, we didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Like
There's
they're already
only
paying for everything there. You got dinner, you got drinks, you got a party.
yeah.
What the fuck more do you need as a guest? So that's
I
just
have one wedding of all the weddings that I've been to, been a part of. I still have one wedding favor that I got from a wedding in the 90s that I still use.
what?
It was like a glass. It wasn't crystal, obviously, but it's a really pretty like glass candy dish kind of thing. So I'll use it around the
Okay.
holidays
But
and
see,
stuff.
that's
It was useful and I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
if
that's
it wasn't
a unique favor. I feel like
right.
now they're so like kitschy or like
Yeah.
cheap because they feel like
Yeah.
you have to get a favor.
Yeah.
And it's like, you really don't. Like,
Yeah.
don't.
There's
if it's
not
gonna
many,
be, yeah.
not many favors out there.
If you're doing a bulk order for a wedding favor and each gift comes out to like $1.79,
Yeah.
just don't do it.
Yeah.
They're,
And
they're oh, thanks, straight into the garbage.
yeah. Or you just don't take it off the table when you go.
What a waste of money.
Yeah. If anybody asked me to contribute to favors, if I was part of, I'd be like, that's going to be a hard pass for me.
I'm not paying for your honeymoon. I'm not paying for your suite for you and your fiance to stay in, and I'm not contributing. So the person that wrote in this complaint did end up backing out of the wedding.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah. She was like, the dress that you wanted was already ridiculously expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Hair, makeup, shoes. Like, I love you, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
This is
And again, I
crazy.
feel like people who've experienced that have a better understanding. That's no excuse, but yeah, you just got to be thoughtful about other people's finances and situations, and those are just selfish requests to me.
Yeah,
very
and
selfish.
Before we go on to the second one, you saying that being like aware of people's finances, even if you get like if one of my friends were to get married right now, I'm financially stable, everything,
Right.
whatever. But I
But
have
it doesn't-
2 kids now.
Right.
So me going out and spending $2,000 on a wedding isn't something that I can not. It's something I can do. It's something I'm not going to
priority.
do. Right.
Your priorities change.
My priorities aren't to spend and go all out for
Right.
someone else's wedding. And even before I had kids, I couldn't
Mhm.
financially afford that to
Yeah.
spend that money. So it's like now that I can, my kids, it's about to be summer. Like they need bathing suits, they
Yeah.
need clothes.
I think
like
with the,
sorry, it's fuck that.
I think with the whole bachelorette thing, and not to go down that tangent again, but it's so overplayed, and it's a lot of it isn't necessary.
It's a show.
I mean,
now.
it's fun.
It's just
it's fun,
a show.
but it's really it can drain a relationship and the bank.
Yeah. So the second one that we saw, which I thought this one was so fucking rude.
Yeah, this is a rude.
Is that the bride asked one of her bridesmaids, she had tattoos. She asked her, one, to hide her tattoos, and then to also hide her relationship. She was a lesbian.
The same person?
The same person, yeah.
Okay.
To hide her tattoos and her relationship. She's a lesbian. She wanted she could bring her girlfriend. Your girlfriend can come to the wedding, but just tell everyone that she's your friend. Not, you just couldn't get a date that's your friend. Because I just don't want to make, this was the quote that was, I don't want to make other guests feel uncomfortable if they're not okay with the LGBT community.
Well, how do you know if they're not okay? And it's not up to you to decide if they're going to feel uncomfortable or not. That's one thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is, that's pretty, you know what? You say that person is your friend. You say that person is your friend and you've invited them to the wedding and you're accepting of their tattoos and their relationship. But you know what? You're really not. You're not.
That's my thing. Like you clearly don't accept this friend.
I mean, and that could be for anything. Like we've talked before about a bridesmaid, coming with her new boyfriend and it's the ex-boyfriend of somebody else and like weird stuff, or not weird, but things that happen like that. You say you're okay with it, but you're really not.
You're not. Because if someone said that about one of my friends and they're like, oh, your friend, like, is that her girlfriend? Or I'd be like, yeah, it is.
Right.
Anything that you want to say about it? Like, that's what I would confront that person. You know what I mean? Like you stand up for your friends, you accept them. And if someone has something to say, then you address it in that moment, having your friends back, regardless of the situation. You know what I mean?
You shouldn't have to deal with, I don't mean deal with that. You shouldn't have to address those things on your wedding day, because this just tells me that this bride has lied or withheld the fact that she's friends with somebody who has tattoos. And
Well,
it,
even then, like I mean, not everyone is going to be accepting of everyone else, and that's your own prerogative, your own choices in life. But
but
like,
who's
if
she trying
you're
to
like,
who's
let's
she
say like
trying to
maybe her
protect?
grandfather isn't comfortable with LGBTQ community, it's like, okay, then Papa, go sit down. Don't fucking talk to her then.
Yeah, and does she honestly? I think she's thinking. Well, I think part of it is she's thinking too much, because does she really think her grandfather, if that's the person, just for sake of argument, is actually paying attention to random guests over here?
I think it's just, I think it boils down to you just don't accept your friend. And I want to touch on the tattoos for a second, because I thought about this and I was like, I mean, would I ask someone to cover up their tattoo? But at the end of the day, if I accept my friends for what they look like,
Then it's
and
not an issue for you.
I mean, okay, maybe if they had the word fuck or like a gigantic dick on their chest, I might find like a cute high necked dress for them and like cover it up so that it's not in my pictures. But if they have like a sleeve, and that's like,
Honestly though, and that's really weird, because I don't think you would care if they had that.
No, I
because
wouldn't.
if they were your friend,
You
they
wouldn't
would
care.
be your friend,
Right.
and you wouldn't care.
Yeah.
If you did, they probably wouldn't be your friend, and you
Like-
would have been like, gosh, that person's really nice, but I just can't get past
The tattoo.
whatever. And
Yeah.
and there's just something that's preventing you guys from bonding and being closer than maybe, whatever your relationship status is with them. So, and people, choose who their friends are, and all day long, what they look like.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people are judged on appearance. It's your first impression. I just think that you wouldn't care if they actually were your friend,
Right.
and you would support them and defend them, and
Yep.
not ask them to be somebody that they weren't.
Yeah.
They're not really your friend.
So I think it kind of boils down to, I saw another one that I was like, that's not really anything. But like, one of the bridesmaids asked her friend to dye her hair a color so that they all had blonde hair.
Okay,
but like, again, why the fuck does that matter?
That shouldn't matter.
Right. So it's just, if
You're
you're going
too
to ask someone
obsessed.
to be in your wedding, if you're going to ask a friend to be in your wedding, just like we talked about with like the whole like bridal, if you are getting married and that's what your body looks like, then that's what your body, if you're asking a friend to be in your wedding, you're asking them as who they are right in that moment.
You didn't pick everybody based on hair color.
Right. So either accept your friends for who they are, what they look like, how they are in your wedding day, because that's how they're going to be. They're not going to be a different person on your wedding day, but they're going to be your friend that you know and that you asked to be.
What that reminds me of, the hair color thing, and this is just where my thought process goes, is this bride has probably seen some ridiculous, unrealistic, photoshopped influencer wedding pictures on Instagram or Pinterest about color coordinate the dresses and the hair and you know what I mean? It's like trying to make everyone wear the same lipstick or the same. It's just there's probably some more stupid reason.
It was because I'll tell you why. It was because she was the only one in the wedding party that wasn't on the bride's side, that wasn't family, and all of her family have natural blonde hair, and she didn't want her to stand out or think that she had someone in her wedding party that wasn't family.
Okay, I could tell you right there.
And then
if I was that friend, I'd be like,
you know what happened? Her sister dyed her hair brown. So her sister dyed her hair brown because she was like, that's ridiculous.
Oh,
so that the bridesmaid still had brown hair. So she ended up with 2 brunettes in her wedding party.
If
like,
wow.
That's something.
Okay.
Like her sister was like, fuck you.
Right.
You're so stupid.
You're going to make this girl dye her hair blonde. I'm assuming now they were all light haired or not brunette. And if I was asked to be part of a wedding where I was the only person who wasn't family and was asked to conform to look like the family, that's going to be a hard pass for me.
Like, oh, no, thank you. Yeah. All right, let's take a break.
Oh, please, let's. I need a drink after that.
We're going to come back and we have some more. Shall we go on?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So this one, Laura, you actually found. So I'll let you.
So I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, wedding related Facebook groups just because we're in the industry and I like to keep up with what's happening and what's going on and what vendors and couples and stuff are doing. And this particular one was it was a local Facebook group too, right here in good old North Carolina.
Right here.
But I'm sure it's happening all over the country. This person had requested in this Facebook group that they were looking for a photographer for their wedding, but they didn't care if they were, an amateur or just getting started. They had a budget of $200 and needed them. They said it was a small wedding, a small family wedding. It was going to be at a parent's house or in-laws house or future in-laws or something like that. And so they needed them for 5 hours for $200.
I want to say on the outside, you're thinking about that and being like, that's $40 an hour. $5, $200, that's $40 an hour. Like, that's great. That's a great pay, especially for someone that's not starting out.
You're talking about the bride.
Like, that's how, like, I'm sure she rationalized that.
I wish I had
a
side hustle for $40 an hour.
Yeah, like that's great. However, it's not just 5 hours.
No.
It's not just 5 hours, and that's fucking insulting.
First of all, there's so many things to unpack on this one. If you were a legit photographer, a professional photographer in business, you would never take this job.
No.
For any reason whatsoever. But let's just assume a professional photographer does take this job. Well, let's go back. What would a professional photographer have to do to take this job? Right. Get all their cameras, get all their memory cards together, charge everything, pack everything up. When you're talking about it's more than just the 5 hours, there's prep.
But get like a list together, a shot list together. Yeah. You need to know the itinerary. Yeah. The timeline of the day. You need to get prepped before you're doing work before you even get to the wedding.
A lot of work.
And then you get to the wedding.
And then there's
there's the 5 hours.
Yeah. And then there's the after.
And then there's the after. And developing the pictures, going through. Unless that bride just wants all of her pictures.
Nobody does that.
No.
Nobody does that. It's copyrighted. It's intellectual property.
That would be like, you might as well just ask your uncle to take pictures.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? Here's my thought to this. Set up a Instagram for yourself as a couple.
Yeah.
And have everybody take their pictures and create stories and post them on that Instagram.
You'd probably get better pictures like that anyway.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're getting someone who has zero experience as a photographer, or someone, this is their first, like they have photography experience, but this is their first wedding, you're going to get better pictures on an iPhone. No offense to those starting out, but like
the iPhone's pretty powerful tool.
Yeah. Like you're going to get better pictures. I think like for people who do this, who post in these groups, they don't get it.
No.
Like they don't get it. They don't understand. It's not just 5 hours. Like it's not just 5 hours. There's prep before, then I'm there. Then I have to go home and look through the pictures.
They don't understand what that service even costs.
Right.
Even for a newer business who has set their price point maybe a little bit lower, which I don't necessarily agree with that either. We've talked about it because it dilutes the industry and it devalues professional photographers. If you've done your due diligence and know what you need to do and you're going to be a professional photographer, charge what the average fee is in your market.
Even if it's a little lower than average.
Right.
But don't come in at $800 an hour for a package.
And shame on that person for not doing research and investigating and understanding what that kind of service costs.
Well,
because that is just so...
It's not even just photography service.
Well, no, that could be applied to any category.
So this one that I found was that this girl had reached out to hair and makeup business and gave this whole list like, hey, I saw your website. I've seen the pictures that you've done, the weddings. I followed you for a little while now. Put out this whole list. I have, this person, this person, this person. I think it ended up being like 12 people. And she was like, I want to get hair and makeup done for all of them. I want to pay for them because, I'm trying to be nice. I want to give a gift. It's somewhere else. Like, so there would be travel.
Right. Like,
I'm just interested in your price. Like, what would you charge? And so the girl was like, hey, for 12 people for hair and makeup, You okay?
12 people for hair and makeup?
Yeah, for 12 people.
I can't wait to hear how this plays.
Yeah, for 12 people for hair and makeup, it's, oh crap, I just blanked on the dollar amount. Like 1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
that's where my brain was
like
going.
it was 1,500. I can't remember the exact amount. And there's a travel fee because it's outside of our zip code area, whatever. So let me know if that works for you. And this is all a screenshot conversation.
Yeah.
Like the wedding planner or the makeup artist was like, y'all look at this shit. Her response back was like, oh my God, I was not expecting that. I was thinking more like 500 for total. And I'm really confused about why you need a travel fee. Isn't this your job? Like, shouldn't you be wanting to do this? Don't you need my money?
So
what?
Yeah.
What?
I just can't stress enough how important and how passionate, and I think we're both really passionate about this topic, is that couples getting married need to be educated and learn and understand. I mean, it really is insulting.
So insulting.
To anyone in the wedding industry to get questions and requests and, inquiries like this, because it just tells you, I mean, it's not even realistic. It's not even in the realm of reality.
Like, this is my thing. Let's break down. Let's say this makeup artist was like, okay, let me consider $500 for 12 people. For 12 people for hair and makeup, I'm going to need at least 2 people doing hair and at least 2 people doing makeup.
Right. So you can be servicing 4 people at one time.
Right.
Which is still broken into 3 groups of 4.
And that's going to still take
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
I would say 3 on the lesser side.
Right.
3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
So you want to pay $500 for 4 people to work 4 hours. You don't want to pay for them to get there, even though they're now having to drive. I think it was like an hour or something away. Right. So you're not going to pay for gas. And then the product that they use, I know a lot of makeup artists, they have to pay for their own product.
Right.
So then all the so you want me to lose money on this job.
Right. And then
what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
$500, while it seems like a lot for me to be like, hey, I'm going to go get my hair and makeup done for $500. For me right now, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But 12
we're not talking about one person.
And we're talking about an event, a wedding.
Right. Yeah, well, there's other things that go into those costs as well. You mentioned a few with the product and traveling, but if you're a legitimate business, you probably have some sort of insurance. Maybe you have a location where you're paying rent.
Right.
There's just so many things that go into it, and it's really
insulting.
It really is. And I've been in this industry for 27, 28 years now, and quite frankly, not a lot has changed.
No.
From what we're talking about, from when I started in 1995 to where we are today. That level of not understanding and not knowing, I still see it and I still hear it. It's just amplified more with social media and the internet.
Well, and it's
so much out there.
It's so ignorant for people to think like, if someone came up to me and were like, hey, can you do this job that you normally do for this amount of money for like $1?
Right.
No. What the fuck? Like, it's people's time. It's their energy. It's their talent. You're paying for someone who's been doing this for years.
Right.
They've earned, like, if you worked in the same job and were getting the exact same pay that you had been getting since the day you started, wouldn't you be pissed off?
Yeah.
And then if someone asks, hey, can you do this exact same job, but for a discount, wouldn't you be completely insulted?
Yeah.
That's what people are doing. And I don't even think they understand that that is what they're doing.
Right.
They're sitting here trying to bargain for a price that works for them. It's like, if that's what you can afford, that's great.
Yeah.
Then this person isn't in your budget. And don't sit there and belittle them or attack them. Or don't you need my money? Yeah. Clearly she doesn't. Because she doesn't
and that opens up a whole different can of worms. So I have time to tell a quick little.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So don't you need my money? That to me opens up a whole nother can of worms, because there are vendors out there that are trying to break into the business that will do that.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. I just saw something on Facebook the other day that we were talking about where a bride asked for, she was looking for a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
Incidentally, that must be a huge thing. She wanted to save a ton of money. So she didn't care if they were new, starting, or amateur, but she just wanted them to send the price sheet of what their services were, what they charged. She didn't care anything about them. It said, I don't care what your editing style is. I don't care, what your look is, whatever. I don't want to meet with anybody in person. I don't want to have a phone call. Don't text me. Just send me your price sheet so I can compare. And, if you're amateur starting out, that's fine. The unfortunate part of that is there are people who will be like, oh, this is perfect. I'll break into the photography business or whatever business, DJ business, and I'll do this wedding. You're not helping the industry and you're not helping people understand why that isn't okay.
Well, and also you're getting someone who is of zero quality.
The bride or the
bride.
Vendor? I think they're both getting someone of zero quality.
Like, you're getting someone who is not going to treat you well.
Right.
And you're also, for the bride, they're getting someone whose pictures are going to be shit. And I don't think people think about, they see these Instagram pictures and these Pinterest pictures. They're like, everyone can do this. Just pick up a camera and do it.
Yeah.
There's a reason people charge $3,000 for a wedding package versus $800, $200. It's because the people that are charging $200, $800 suck.
Yeah. And quite frankly, even if you are just starting your business out, you take a job like that is red flags all over, because you know what?
You're just setting yourself
You're
up.
setting yourself up because nothing's going to make that person happy. They're not going to like whatever it is that you did or provided. It's just going to be a whole mess all the way around.
Yeah.
Shame on you all of you.
Shame on you all. All right, let's take our last break and then we'll be back for more. Alrighty.
Yep.
This next one.
Yeah.
I got to pull my phone out for him.
I'm interested. I know you're hiding that one on your phone. It just makes me think about something I read the other day on a Facebook group, nonetheless.
Ah, God, love those Facebook groups. So this is an email that a bride had a wedding coordinator send out to all of her guests.
Okay.
My first question, well, I guess I'll get to my question.
Let's tell the story first.
Okay. So again, this went out to all the guests. Good morning. My name is, and that's crossed out, I'm the wedding coordinator for so-and-so. I'm reaching out to all confirmed guests to do a final head count and go over some rules and regulations of the wedding day.
Regulations?
Mm-hmm. First of all, are you still attending with a +1? Please respond. Rules and regulations. Please arrive 15 to 30 minutes early. Please do not wear white, cream, or ivory. Please do not wear anything other than a basic bob or ponytail. Please do not have a full face of makeup. Do not record during the ceremony. Do not check in on Facebook until instructed. Use this hashtag when posting all pictures. Do not talk to the bride at all, in all caps. Everyone will toast with Remy. No exceptions.
What's Remy?
I guess that was, I don't know.
Oh, a person's name?
I guess so.
Oh, okay.
Lastly, you must come with a gift of $75 or more if you want to be admitted in.
What?
If you have any questions or need clarification, please give me a call directly. Thank you.
Wow, she's setting herself up for some shit. Okay.
My first question.
Yes, please.
What the fuck kind of wedding coordinator is like, yes, great idea.
Yeah,
I'm gonna send this out for sure. That's great.
Well,
I like
honestly,
this.
I could see where those might be some things a wedding coordinator would want, maybe based on questions she always gets or last minute things, maybe kind of like a FAQ sort of.
Put it on your wedding website then.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that I would go to those lengths to do that. Some of those things, okay, this kind of opens up a whole, Pandora's box, but if you're having a themed wedding or something fun, you need to remind your guests of it's a black only for XYZ reason.
Or everyone, there have been some weddings where they're whiteouts. Like everyone, please wear white.
So if it's a cool, fun theme and you're sending out reminders,
I can understand that.
Yeah. Hashtags, put it on the website, put it on your invitation, little stuff like that. Telling somebody to bring a $75 gift to be admitted.
Won't be admitted in.
Yeah, that's no.
Pardon?
Yeah, why?
Fucking what?
Why?
So even when you register for stuff, like,
then don't register for anything less than $75.
Right. But you know what I mean? Like, you can go to Pottery Barn and, like, I need this spatula, I need this cake pan, I need this mixer. Like, those aren't $75. So you're expecting someone to walk in and you can have someone there like calculating, okay, let me pull this up on the registry.
Aren't the gifts wrapped? Like, who knows?
Right. Yeah. Like, so yeah. I'd be like, I'm not going, like, do not talk to the bride at all.
Yeah.
I would be so fucking petty. If she came up and talked to me, I'd be like, zip my lips.
Well, I mean, first of all, usually when guests arrive, the bride's, I don't know, getting her hair and makeup back behind the scenes somewhere.
Well, I'm thinking that she means like, don't approach the bride at all.
Oh, you mean during whatever.
Like the reception or the reception, the cocktail hour, like do not talk to the bride.
Yeah, that's
at all.
Well, like aside of the ridiculous list of reminders that she sent out, it's just rude. I think that's it's
so rude.
The whole culmination of this episode is rude, selfish, insensitive.
Well, and it's like, okay, I can understand. Don't wear white, cream, or ivory. I get it.
People know
but
that.
Like they do, but I mean, there's so many people that I want, like,
okay, if grandma is going to wear her best Sunday ivory dress that she wears every Sunday, is that really going to compete or upstage the bride?
No.
No.
I don't think you should go out of your way to wear white or cream or ivory to a wedding. I think people kind of know, like, I don't really, like, I don't want to cross that line. I also don't think at this point, like, it's not going to ruin your wedding day. It's not going to stop your wedding. And if someone wears white, everyone knows and looks at them to be like, oh, shame on them. They're not looking at you being like, you should address that. Like, you should go and take care of that.
Right. I think it honestly depends. My cousin wore something white to Jackie's wedding. And my first thought, being the OCD person I am, was like, oh, okay. I can't believe she wore something white. But it wasn't like,
I don't even remember that. Like, that's how little
I didn't talk about it or bring it up. It was just a random thought.
But I don't even remember
seeing mind.
Anyone other than Jackie.
I think she had some sort of white top and a black skirt on. So it wasn't anything that was like, wow, I can't believe she wore white and tried to upstage my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, it was, so I don't think anybody who's wearing that is trying to do it. Now, some people do. We've talked about that.
Well, yeah, some people go out of their way to wear like white gowns. So like very much like a wedding
so that's different.
That's different.
Sending
but like,
a reminder email is just not necessary.
Well, especially those rules and regulations. Like there are some emails
First of all,
that's
a harsh term. Regulations.
Yeah.
That's extra.
Like, don't check in until you're told to. I'm not checking in at your wedding. What the fuck?
On social
Facebook,
media?
Yeah. Like, I'm not checking in anyway.
Who
like,
checks in on social media anymore?
Nobody. Like, I can understand, like, maybe sending out a follow-up email, like you said, like, hey, just letting everyone know, blah, blah, blah. Like, but you can't control when people get to your wedding. Like, you can hope that everyone knows, okay, it starts at 4. I need to be there before, like at 3:45, 3:50. Like, you can hope people know that.
Right.
But we've said so many times, when it gets to be your actual wedding day, you're just kind of like, nah, whatever it is, what it is.
I mean, are you going to say, I'm not ready to walk down the aisle yet because these 5 guests haven't checked in yet?
Right. Because I'm going to tell you now, if you're waiting for that, there are people that RSVP and they don't show the fuck up.
All the time.
All the time.
That's a whole nother episode right there.
Yeah. So I just, when I read that, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And what fucking wedding, like, if that was my wedding planner, would have been like, okay, Emily, let's sit down and talk. So we're not going to send this email out. Right. And I want to walk through why you want to. I feel like maybe you should go to therapy for a minute and maybe let's work through why you feel like this email is so important to go out.
Kind of second guessing why I took this job.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned for your mental state. I'm uncomfortable. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the last one that I found on Reddit that I thought,
bless her heart.
What a treat, you know? What a treat. Poor mother of the grooms gets such a bad rep anyway. Like, it's just
Why?
because you're just like, it's like my future mother-in-law, like mother of the groom. Like, everyone I feel like is always just like,
It's a second-class citizen.
yeah,
The
like
mother of the bride is
it's like,
the
oh my
star.
gosh, yeah,
She's
like
the mother of the
she's the mother of
bride.
the bride, like they're best friends, like they're having so much fun. It's her daughter's special day. And it's like the mother of the groom is just like, okay, Karen, sit down.
Second, yeah.
Like, please get out. Like, your opinion doesn't matter here. Like, they're just pushed
Okay,
aside. You're gonna be 3. Yeah.
I have 3 boys
Yeah.
on the horizon. So,
But it like, you'll see when you go through that, you're gonna be like, hello.
it's my kid's wedding too.
Hello. I just feel like they get so pushed aside and they have such a bad name. This story is not going to help. The story isn't going to help their case. So I'm going to try not to laugh through this because I think it's so funny. And I know that I'm sure her intentions were probably like tried to be very.
Oh, she was looking after her baby boy.
Maybe. The mother of the groom had to before anyone walked down the aisle, screen them over.
Guess?
No, the wedding party.
Oh.
Had to do a once over
Like
of everyone to make sure head to toe that you were good to go, for all the groomsmen that their boutonniere was how it needed to be, their ties.
I can see that.
Well,
okay.
That their hair was good. Their hair was good. Everything was good. That they were nice, polished, great, beautiful, perfect. Groomsmen, check. Go. Then we get to the bridesmaids. There was a bridesmaid who had a gorgeous wedding band, and the mother of the groom said that she could not walk down the aisle with that on her hand.
Like her own wedding band.
Because it was going to upstage what her son was able to get, his almost wife.
That sounds
so
like
she had to screen all the bridesmaids to make sure their accessories didn't upstage.
Wasn't more than what the bride had.
The bride, yeah.
I mean, kudos to make sure your boutonniere is not upside down, because I've seen that before.
Right. I mean, like,
it ruins pictures.
I understand. I'm sure she probably was
trying
to have the best interest of like,
yeah.
But you can't tell someone like you can't wear your wedding ring down the aisle because it's bigger than what my son got. So and so.
I mean, let's be honest. When that couple's pictures come out, is anybody going to zoom in and be like, "Whoa, look at that bridesmaid's ring. Wow, what an embarrassment for the groom."
Right. Or
no
like,
one's,
and who cares? Like, if someone at the wedding is like, "Oh my God, your ring is gorgeous."
Yeah.
They're not going to walk away being like, "Well, I'm glad we got to that wedding to make sure that we could see her ring."
Yeah. And wow, did she upstage the couple?
Yeah. Like, I didn't even realize what we were there for anymore. Once I saw that ring, I forgot completely that we were at this wedding. Like, people just don't.
That's not helping the emojis out there.
No, it is not. The mogs.
The mogs. Is that what it is? A mog?
A mog. I don't know. My dad kept calling himself the fob.
The fob.
I was like, Dad,
we're going to have a serious, like, when I get that first son gets married, I'm going to have to like, I think I'm going to be a good mother of the groom.
I hope so.
Thanks for the support.
I hope so. I mean,
I feel like I know the drill.
Yeah. Like, you just kind of you're going to have to take you are going to have to take a back seat.
Yeah. It is the bride's day, and her mom deserves that.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to have to be like,
you're going to have to be there to celebrate and support.
Yeah, I got my boys.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I just thought that was very interesting. The mother of the groom had to screen everyone and then refused to have like certain accessories. Yeah. And so that made me
people
question.
Get obsessed over that. I mean, like, this is the necklace we're wearing. These are the earrings. These are the shoes. Fortunately, a lot of that time has sort of smoothed that over, and we don't do that anymore. I remember the dyeable shoes. Remember, everybody had to take their white satin shoes and get them dyed. Here's a swatch of the fabric.
Yes.
Yeah. And the mothers would even, they make the purses that could be dyed too. So they would get them dyed. Like, oh my God. Oh, to get married in the 90s again. But,
No, it makes me wonder if like,
there's no reason
the bride asked her to do it. Like, I don't want my mom to do it. My mom's uncomfortable doing it, but like, hey, you already
Yeah.
have a bad rep. So can you go through them and can you tell, like, I
I
don't
mean, it's
want Claire to wear her wedding band down the
Yeah.
aisle. So
I mean,
can you
that
tell her not to do that? Like,
that
I'm wondering if there was a behind the scenes conversation or if the mother of the groom just came in and was like, all right, before everyone walks down the aisle, make sure that you all look appropriate. You're not going to upstage my baby.
for the sake of mothers of the grooms out there, I'm going to say
It was a bride.
let's hope that the bride was the one doing that. Although with the stories that we've heard and looked up and read throughout this whole podcast journey, nothing would surprise me at this point.
No, not at all. Good Lord. I don't know what I would do if someone were like, you need to take your wedding. I'd be like, get the fuck out of my face.
I'd be
right
like,
now. Do you want me to
"Oh,
walk
I'm
down the
sorry."
aisle or not? Because I'm about to not. So
Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah.
A lot.
Well,
Let that go. Let the whole like matching accessories. Everyone has to be this and this and this. I feel like that is kind of antiquated, but on the same token, I do feel like it's still kind of
I
a
think
thing.
everyone wants everyone to look put together. Yeah,
Consistent.
like everyone should flow, whether you do the matching dresses or have like the color palette.
Right.
Everyone wants everyone to look like they belong in the same
Right. Like it's
party.
a cohesive,
Yes.
thought out.
Yes, like it's
Yeah.
not just like, oh, you showed up in a gray dress and you're wearing a hot pink dress. Like that doesn't make sense. But I do think people want it to flow. And, if you want to have the same accessories, I think that's cute. I think that's pretty. But like,
the more you try to control people, the less control you have.
Yeah.
Because that's when people are going to go rogue on you.
Go rogue.
And be like, you know what? I don't care what she said. I'm doing whatever I
I'm
want.
not doing
I'm going
any of
to
this.
find the biggest necklace I can
Yeah,
wear.
right.
Yeah.
Remember those like chunky necklaces in like the 2000s that were like
I
horrible,
may still have some of those.
wonderful.
I
And
almost wore one today.
So cute. I love them so much. And I'm glad that they are still around. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that is it.
Yeah. Although I'd love to hear more
I was gonna say,
more ridiculous wedding requests.
Yeah. So if y'all have any, send them to us at stories@cheersthatshit.com. Follow us, subscribe, like, share, love,
and watch us on YouTube.
The end.